everyone. Welcome to Rhythm and Roads. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. We have a very special guest. We have actor, model Johnny Cortez here on Rhythm and Roads. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man. Good to have you on Rhythm and Roads.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
nice.
So, and I've actually hung out with Johnny. Very cool guy. Very just so inspiring on his journey, what he has shared of just being an actor and model. And he's actually working on a script right now with his partner on some future film project that's really good. So we're gonna get into that later. But yeah, man, I just want to get to know your story and on what inspired you or who inspired you from day one to want to pursue acting and being a model. So if you want to go ahead and share a bit about that.
Sure. I mean, where do I start? What is day one? I feel like everybody's day one is a little different. It's a spectrum. It's a
Right.
spectrum. I guess for me, my day one, my awakening, or you may say,
Yeah.
is it happened during a phase of depression, right?
Mm.
And we discussed this off of this podcast,
Right.
but
Right.
for me, it started in high school. I got fed up with life. Stereotypical story of, depression, you're falling into certain things, right? Addictions, whatever it may be.
Mhm.
For me, I had a lot of wrath, a lot of pride.
Mm.
And, I want to change my environment, the way I did things, because I grew up athletic. I grew up, fighting like boxing, wrestling, track, football, you name it. I was kind of all around with that. And I didn't feel like I fit in that,
Mm.
although I was doing all these rigorous things, practicing things like that. I was also doing it in college. I was like, this is not it.
Mm.
This can't be it. I've done this most of my life. What else is there? And I fell into theater. Theater was my outlet.
Mm.
Theater was the most random but most purposeful event that could have happened.
Wow.
Most canon event, you know. And the way that happened, I ran into it by accident. It was my last year in high school, and I was on the verge of quitting football, wrestling, and all that stuff. And I was going to different countries. I was going to different cities and states to
Mm.
compete. So I wasn't just doing it just for, excuse my language, but shits and giggles.
Mm.
Um, theater kind of came to me at the perfect time because I was I wouldn't say I was suicidal, but I was damn near just giving up on life.
Wow.
What's the point of doing all this stuff? There's no point. I feel no purpose.
Mm.
And the director at the time of theater, his name was Mr. A, very flamboyant character. He's very out there, just animated. The way he was, the way he spoke, his mannerisms, his poise per se. He uh, he welcomed me with open arms. Him and this theater team, they're very, very much so open to a lot of things, and that taught me to just be myself. Get out of this tough guy show per se, because
Mm.
I was always to myself, just kind of intimidating in my own way. I didn't like that. I didn't like that perspective of me. So theater was the best outlet. You learn about yourself in different ways that you wouldn't in sports, where sports is very limited on your mental health
Mm.
as well as how you should go about things. Theater helped with that a lot in the sense that if I'm on stage,
Mhm.
if I want to be goofy, if I want to be weird, right?
Mhm.
It's just there. People accept you.
Yeah.
Instead of getting booed or anything like that, you get the most honest reactions. Wow,
Wow.
really? Yeah, that. It's that. You know, and more so than doing it for the audience, I did it for myself. And the director gave me a chance. That last year, I was supposed to meet Matthew McConaughey, but then COVID hit. This was back in 2020.
Oh man.
So, everybody was freaked out by this. Like, what? What is this COVID stuff?
Yeah.
So we ended up not going, but I decided not to let that stop me. So I pursued it in Washington, up north, and ended up signing with the agency a year later. And that was kind of crazy because I didn't expect that. I was doing like commercial gigs up there and things like that. But it's very different, the mentality and culture. And that's one thing I like about acting. If you're in that entertainment space, you could find like-minded people or very different-minded people, which is even better,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And that's just the way it is. That was my day one. My day one. I was kind of ranty, excuse me. But yeah, that's kind of what set it off for me.
Dude, like, thank you for sharing that. But what a crazy experience of what you're sharing that you were just at the point of like dead inside where you're just like, I want to give up on life, man. Like I think we all have gone to, I don't know about all of us, but there's certain points of in our life where we get to a point where we just really are dead within and we're like, I need to wake up to life again to live. You know what I mean? To start living what I'm called to do. And because if you're not doing what you're called, it just feels like day in, day out, same cycle. And you're just like, this is not, I wasn't born on this earth just to do this and that's it. There's more to my life than this. And sometimes, yeah, it's unfortunate. Some, sadly, they do take their own life. And then there's some that, that do, I don't know, like find a way to make it happen. They get help or, yeah. So just, man, thank you that you are here, man. You're here and you are doing what you love and you're still here. And yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for letting me have the opportunity to speak on it.
No, of
Yes.
course, man. Yeah. I mean, it's a very sensitive subject and I'm glad that thank you for just sharing that, man. Yeah. So that point now where you're at, or what was that point of just saying, okay, I'm going to pursue this full time with acting and modeling, both. What was your first start of like a film you were in?
Okay. Well, back in 2021, I did a film with a gentleman named Eric,
Okay.
and you might find him on social media or, you know, IMBD. His
Okay.
name is Eric Nunez, and he actually gave me the start to my first short film, which was Desert Rain. And that
Is it
same year, I
rain?
had won Best Actor in Washington, D.C. Film Festival. So that
Oh,
kind
wow.
of, I was like, okay, maybe I'm doing something.
Wow, man,
Let's do
that's
this.
good. Yeah. You said
Yeah,
you won Best Actor?
yeah, in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
That was
Yeah,
your
that
first?
was my first two. Yeah.
Dang. Good job.
And it was shot guerrilla style. We didn't have a whole lot. It was just what consisting of 4 or 5 people,
Okay.
one cameraman and just actors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like, okay, we could do something. Cool. Okay.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
Um,
And so you said you used to live in Washington?
yeah, Washington State. So that's where Seattle is.
Yeah, Seattle area. Okay. Man,
Yeah.
I love Seattle. I haven't been there in like 15 years, but when I went, I was like, so beautiful, dude.
Right. The environment, the trees, way different from Texas, you
Oh
know.
yeah, like the weather.
Yeah.
You're out there, it feels like it's much cleaner. The air, like something about it is just so cool. Well, it has a bit of vibe of like California, like the weather too, because
Oh,
it
okay.
has that coolness, at night, and but it is different of its own.
Yeah, it is because you have the neighboring areas like what is it? Boise, you have Oregon,
The
right? Which
Canada's
is
not too far.
yeah, it's like what 30-minute hour drive depending.
Yeah,
But
well, I think Canada from Seattle maybe 2, 3 hours. Yeah.
oh, Canada, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
That's cool.
But it's nice.
Oh yeah.
Super nice. If you're
What?
into that type of stuff.
Right, right. And what made you move from Washington to El Paso?
So initially, this is the crazy part. So when I went out there, my cousin had invited me, and at the time he was training for MMA. Now he's a little bit more further
Okay.
these years, but he had invited me. He's like, you know what? If you want a fresh start, things like that, you could come with me. It's like, yeah, sure. Jalen, if you see this, I know we haven't talked in years, but hope you're doing well. Uh, he actually put me on the roadmap to the kind of fighting that I like, which is more on the MMA side. So like Muay Thai, kickboxing. I
Oh,
already
cool.
had a boxing and wrestling background, so that kind of helped a bit.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, it was a different experience because over there, if you're from here, especially like I'm from El Paso, right?
Mhm.
So going over there, my lungs, they felt so much better breathing, training out there, running in the mountains, constant rain, just the clouds, it's a whole scene. And you
Oh,
just feel like Superman. It's amazing.
oh, it is, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
God, I
And
want to go back, bro. Like God.
oh yeah. I used to run what 10 to 20 miles a day over there. I was really
Really? Oh, wow.
yeah, I was on this whole pescatarian diet. It sucked, but it was great. Like I felt amazing, better shape than I am now. And yeah, Jalen, again, if you see this, Cuzzo, hope you're doing good. You and Key, brother. Brother is like a Samoan type of term,
Oh, is
Polynesian.
it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of put me on the game with all that. Because those guys, even now they're at fighting. They're fighting at that level. So
Oh, cool.
congrats to you guys. And yeah, that's kind of why I went up there. Now, as far as like the agency and stuff, I had to look for that on my own because eventually when I got there, I was like, you know what? Let's try this again, the whole acting thing, but let's try to get an agent this time.
Yeah.
So I did, and yeah, I started doing these little commercial gigs. They were kind of awkward though, because depending on the area you're in, so like if you're up there, right, the commercials are more focused on medication type of commercials. So like you get like the weird Viagra commercials or like the ADHD pill commercial. There was like that type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I felt kind of weird auditioning for that. I was like, I'll audition for it, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm kind of young to like have. Anyway, you know,
Yeah.
excuse me if there's any minors or young people watching this.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, that's
that's
I don't
funny.
know. You know, it opened my eyes to a lot of things. Like, okay, you can't just audition for things that are just random. It's nice if you get them right, especially if
Of
it's a
course.
paid gig.
Right.
But you also got to specify yourself and really brand yourself as an actor, especially as an actor. Because if you're gonna go into the modeling section as well, it's like that's gonna carry on to that other section that you do.
Right.
So you got to be careful with that as well, because then people will see you as that. You don't want to be walking down the street or you're on social media like, oh, you're that guy, you're the Viagra guy. It's like, no, you know, I don't want to be that guy, right?
Yeah, you don't want to be
So,
that guy. Yeah. That's funny.
right.
Oh,
So it's a lot to think about, especially if you're by yourself. And I had the chance to make so many mistakes. I mean, that was a hidden blessing in disguise because although I was doing this and that, I was also making more mistakes than I was with my own successes, which was very few, if I could count it. Uh, that's the honest truth. I'm not gonna be here, glorify myself in some sense that I'm this guy and I do this and that and this and that. I could attempt it, right?
mm,
But that doesn't necessarily mean it's a guaranteed successful turn in your life. That
right.
just means it's a lesson to learn and then go from there. Do you really want this? Do you want to carry on with that, or do you want to pursue something else entirely? You know.
Yeah.
So that's why I like that space. You can make those choices on your own.
Yeah, that's very true. And so you are pursuing being an MMA fighter as well, or?
Yeah, I try to do a lot of things. I know that I'm kind of like here and there and just chaining these thoughts of ideas.
Yeah.
But fighting, I grew up with. I've never had an amateur fight or nothing like that. I'm not gonna
Oh,
claim
okay.
something I'm not.
Yeah.
But I used to be like a scrapper. Back in my day, right? Back in my day, I used to get in a lot of fights, but that's only because I used to get bullied a lot, and that's because I was very small, smaller than anybody else around me. So I decided, you know what? I want to defend myself. Let me try something, right? I don't want to be a victim anymore. I don't want to be a victim anymore. So yeah, I pursued it,
Wow.
and I'm glad I did. It it has it helped me create the foundation that I have today.
Wow.
That's why I make choices the way I do. It's why I think critically and so on and so forth. It's really nice. I recommend it for anybody that has nothing in their life that, you know, if they want purpose, if they want to find themselves truly,
Mm.
fighting helps in a disciplined manner to the point where you think logically. You don't think in this sense where you see blood in your eyes or you see red in your eyes, all that
Yeah.
symbolic, that people say.
Right.
It gives you a sense of reality. It really brings you down, makes you grounded, if you're doing it right. If you're around the wrong people and, that's a whole different story. But anyway, yeah, I would recommend it to people that, have nothing at all and they're just kind of done with that. That's what helped me out.
Interesting. Okay, man. Well, great advice. And yeah, I mean, I think martial arts and being just an MMA fighter, it does help train your mind and yourself to be self-disciplined and just knowing how to go about all that. So yeah, you can use that a lot in life. A certain, uh, I guess, whatever you learn from that. I mean, I've never done MMA fighting or anything, but I kind of assume it brings great just certain aspects to learn about how to deal with life and certain, like you said, there's certain things that you can utilize for yourself to discipline yourself and better yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, of course. So yeah, man.
Spiritually, especially.
Yeah, spiritual. Oh, that's right, spiritually for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, let's get into your. Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, good stuff. Your story with Cesar on that
Okay.
project. Yeah. So, want to share about that?
Sure. I can only share very few things.
Oh
When I
yeah.
say very few things, because we had to postpone it as of recently, and that's only because of casting and all that. Which, by the way, we still have open slots for certain, you know, characters that we have at the moment available.
Okay.
So look on my page, look on Cesar Rendon's page. So, shout out to Cesar, by the way, because he's also doing stuff with the horror film and some other shorts.
Yeah, that's right. He is. Yeah,
Yeah.
I interviewed him. Yeah, he talked about it.
Yeah, no, I watched a bit of it while I was at work, so
Oh, the
I thought
horror?
that was nice. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, he
cool.
sent it to me. He's like, I just did the interview with Josh. I was like, okay, I'll check it out.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
nice, man.
Yes, sir. So to begin with, the story, we named it The Streets Between Us, and
Mhm.
that was Cesar's idea. Initially, the themes are immigration, masculinity, love, um, family, especially the family dynamic, and the period that we have it focused in. Think of it of like the Obama times when Obama was president.
Okay.
Initially, it's heavily focused on immigration, language barriers, all types of things that has to do with either the Chicano culture, Tejano culture, anybody that's really Latino, Hispanic, Mexican,
Okay.
and it's really focused on that. So that's kind of what we're gonna present, but we're shooting that later on towards the end of the year, if anything. Just because, like I said, we're still looking for casting, production team as well. So if you guys are interested in being a cameraman, boom mic operator, grips, by all means, message me, message Cesar. Yeah, that's what else can I share? 'Cause I can't share. Cesar will get mad at me.
So Cesar mentioned that he moved. He wanted to move it till next year.
Yeah,
So, but you
yeah,
mentioned this year.
yeah. Either late this year, we're
Okay.
thinking either December or late January.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Nice.
Just to give it a time frame, because like I said, we're still looking for casting and all that. So
Right.
yeah, but it's gonna be a big project. The way we're gonna have this. So for anybody that is new to this, that first time seeing me or Josh or hearing about Cesar, um, this project is gonna be pretty much held like a feature film, but it's a short film, right? But it's a very ambitious project. So if you're that type of person, you want to be a part of that, by all means, message us, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
So.
And for
Yeah.
them to message you, how would find you on social media?
Okay, so my Instagram handle is Johnny Cortez Official. With Cesar, it is Cesar Rendon 01, either 00 or 0110.
Okay.
I gotta check that again, but whenever we get the whole thing posted, I'll just tag it. So
Fine. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, we're looking forward to that film, and well, actually, I'm looking forward to being hopefully on it still. A little
Yeah,
side.
right. I was about to say you're part of it. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
just a little, even if it's just a little scene. I mean, that's fine.
Right.
But yeah, man. I mean, I hope it all still works out and everything comes about and finding the actors and the production crew and everyone. So,
Yeah, no, and like I said, we'll post what's available because we've already casted a few people already.
oh, okay,
So yeah, we're just looking for I think half of it now, half of the cast.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh
So we got till May 20th is the deadline. So anybody seeing this?
oh, May 20th, guys.
Yes.
The streets between us.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
That
Um,
was Cesar's idea, so shout out to him.
yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Cesar, man. And also, do you have anything you want to add before we close of just your just any advice or your experience from those going through depression, going through trying to figure it out in life? You know what I mean? It's always something just to share on that, just to give that. I know it's a sensitive topic,
Sure.
but it's also real. You know what I mean? Like we all go through our time of going through our chapters. Well, it's good to hear some good advice.
Yeah. If I'm gonna give advice, I think I can only cater to the male audience since that's what I am.
Mm,
Um, Mental health matters. I think that what you believe in the most is what you're gonna carry yourself to be.
mm,
So really try to surround yourself with people that are like-minded or want to be better.
right.
And if you can't, then be alone for a time, because that's what I did. Is it harsh? Is it, a different reality for a lot of people? Yes. But I say it's worth it because, you know, none of us really want to hear, the people that we care about, ending themselves or they disappear, something, drastic like that. We really want to, be a part of it, even if we stay silent or we don't feel like communicating, just
Yeah.
reach out to other people, other men, things like that. Because I know in this generation too, it's kind of heavily implied that, mental health, especially for men, it's really bad. I gotta say, and I've experienced it myself, so I could speak of my own experience. But that's the thing, try to find new habits, new hobbies. Try to surround yourself with things that can help you out in your everyday life, whether it's personal, professional life. Because I feel like your personal life will translate into even business. You're trying to be a business owner, you're trying to partner up with people, trying to get into LLC. I don't know. There's so many topics on that, right?
Right.
But you got to take care of yourself and your health, especially. If you could do those two things, I mean, you're a lot better off than most of the population right now that's suffering, which I say it sucks. I think that everybody has the opportunity to make themselves better. They just don't know where to start or what avenues to look for. So just get curious. Get curious about things that you feel like you wouldn't like. Do things that you wouldn't do in your everyday life.
Mm.
I think that's the way to go. And then you really discover what you're capable of.
Wow, man. Well said. Good stuff, man. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for the questions because that
Oh,
was on the spot.
oh yeah.
uh,
And also, yeah, guys, like if you need help, feel free to reach out to family, friends, your close circle of friends and close family members. Let them know how you're feeling. And I know there's a hotline of a phone number to call if you ever feel suicidal or if you need just help in talking to a counselor or something. There's nothing wrong in doing that. So it's good to get help. We've all been there and needed help. And so, yeah, just stay encouraged. Know that God loves you and that there's a plan for your life, just like Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. So you have a calling in life. So if you need to discover that, just say a prayer, ask God, and He says He'll come and show you what you were meant to be here on earth to do. And it may not show up right away, but in time, you'll know. So. And if you're wondering how you can get some help other ways, like Johnny said, it's good to better yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Find a local church. If you want to go to the gym, try a new hobby, surround yourself with good circle of friends that are supportive, that are there for you, family as well. Try something new with them. Just you never know. You never know what's on the other side until you try something. And if you don't try, then you'll never know what could have been. So, yeah, man. Good stuff.
I have
Just
a question for you
yeah,
before
man.
you. Yeah, I was itching at this actually. So, with you being a podcaster, right, and asking all these questions, what's one thing that sticks out for you for actors that's really common that you think could be either better or, it's a different space for you that you're learning, right, when you get on these interviews? Because I've seen you when you're in Las Cruces Film Festival, which, by the way, congrats, right?
Thanks,
That's
man.
great, man.
Thanks, man.
When you're out there and you're interviewing these people, what what are the things that you ask that could also be applied to yourself that you feel like could be applied to other people that see this?
Ask as in like how they go about their life on acting or bettering themselves or what?
Yeah, how they function, how they work. Is there anything that you picked up where you're like, you know what, I could apply this to myself?
Yeah, I mean, there's actually a lot of it too. It just in person and on the podcast on Zoom is I've noticed a lot from filmmakers and just actors. What they say is do it, just do it, and because it's okay to feel afraid, and the thing is, it's okay to be uncomfortable or not to be comfortable in your own body by doing something because that's how you grow. So they're like, for certain people I've talked with, they're like, man, I was in theater and I went before an audition and I was freaking out, but then I got the role and then that gives me the confidence, like, oh man, what else can I do? But the thing is, a lot of fear they say that can stop you too. The self-doubt, the insecurities, the what ifs, the how would people think of me? So one of the things I caught from interviewers, well, doing interviews in Las Cruces Film Fest, plus on Rhythm and Roads over Zoom with the guests, is them sharing that it's okay to fail. It's okay that if you mess up, it's okay because it's not the end, it's just the beginning. And then you get over that, you learn from that, and you keep going. Because if you don't fail, how you learn? It's like you
Right.
can't do something perfect at your first try without structuring it to where you need to be to get constructive criticism of saying, hey, try this, maybe this next time. Doesn't mean you're horrible. One thing they did mention is sometimes if you are on a path, let's say you want to be a singer, right? Or no, let's not use singer. Let's say you want to be, I don't know, let's say you wanted to be a how can I use it for an example? So like, let's say you want to pursue a certain career of in the industry, right? And then all of a sudden, maybe you were a director, and all of a sudden, but you never acted in front of a camera. But then you're like, you know what? I've never done that, but I don't know if I'll be good because I'm good at directing, but I've never been an actor in front of the camera. And you put that off so long that then when you actually try being an actor and instead of being a director, you're actually in front of the camera. It's just like, wow, I missed out. I'm like, I didn't know I was so good. People are actually telling me, dude, you're good. Like, you're a great actor. And I'm like, what? Like, you know what I mean? So don't put off if you want to try something, because that could be a calling too, to say, hey, try this. But you've been putting it off because all you've been, it's fine to be a director or a producer or a scriptwriter. But if there's a nudge in you of like, but what about this? I should try that. Try it. You have nothing to lose.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if you try it and it still doesn't work out, at least I tried it. Back to script writing, back to
Exactly.
being a producer, back to being director, and I'm good at it, and that's fine. But you never know. I could be good at this too. I could be good at this. I could be good at this if I could just try it. So that's what a lot of them have been telling me is that try different things, and if it doesn't work out, it's okay. But if it does work out, hey, now you know how to do that. Now you're skilled
Exactly.
in this area. So overcome the fear. Fear, faith over fear. So,
Right. I agree.
yeah, man. Well, thank you, Johnny, for coming on Rhythm and Roads.
Thanks
Appreciate
for having me.
it. Yeah, man. Thank you for sharing your story. And, I'm glad God's doing a work in you and being the light of inspiration to other actors and filmmakers and models. And yeah, man, I mean, you have that story to share to help others overcome certain stages in life, and I'm glad that you're here to share your stories. So, you're,
I appreciate that.
yeah, for you to be blessed, be a blessing to others as well.
And you as well. I mean, you're getting all these stories captivating and whatnot. So,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
That's
All
good.
right.
Well, thank you guys for watching on this episode with Johnny Cortez. And we will catch you guys on the next episode with Rhythm and Roads.
Make sure you guys tune in, Josh. Follow his page. Make sure you
Oh,
do.
yeah. Like and subscribe, please. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for all the support. Yeah, it means everything. Thank you so much.
Alrighty. You have a blessed day.